faced recovery from war. We are contributing troops to fight terrorists.
You may have heard the prediction that by January there'll be up to 1.5 million infections in West Africa. Obviously, this number is very frightening in general, but for me there's a very specific fear associated with this. So I'm a nurse, and I was working in Kenema Government Hospital in the east of Sierra Leone in July and August in the Ebola treatment centre. My specific fear is to do with two little kids from Kenema, a brother and a sister. The boy was about 4 and the girl was 7 or 8. They weren't especially remarkable. I saw kids like this every day, but they stick in my mind for some reason. They're on the suspect ward alone. Their mother and father probably died not long before. The blood results came back and they were both positive for Ebola. So I took them by the hand and led them down the muddy track to onto the confirmed ward. They were both quite weak, and they staggered their way through the puddles and the mud onto the ward, squalid Ward B in Kenema. I popped them up onto a bed that they shared. The boy had diarrhea, and he was very weak, too weak to get up, and so he soiled himself, and I cleaned him up as best as I could with the limited materials available, and removed his dirty clothes. Thereafter, he lay naked on the bed. There was nothing to change him into or cover him with, the diarrhea trickling out of him. His sister looked on, and I encouraged her to help him take fluids regularly. She was also very weak, and she tried her best. The next morning, I came in and saw him lying as I'd left him on the bed, and he wasn't breathing. Going up to him, looking at his face, his lips were drawn back in a grimace and his eyes were vacant, lying in a little pool of his own diarrhea. I lifted his hand to try and just to confirm things, and his whole body turned rigid and cold. I put him in a body bag as his sister looked on. She seemed more baffled than anything, not really understanding what was happening. So I put his corpse outside with the other corpses. The little girl, she deteriorated the next day. Overnight, the following night, she had intravenous fluids, and the line came out and she bled. I came in the following morning and she was covered in blood. She still had a very puzzled expression on her face, and she wasn't breathing. So I put her in a bag and left her next to her brother. She was a beautiful little girl. So my specific fear is that the horror and the misery of these deaths really fill a well of my despair. And I just don't know what happens if that's repeated 1 million times. And so I say, at all costs, and we can't let that happen. Thank you.